Broadcasts of HIKI No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI No.
Aloha kako. I'm Shisa Kahaunaile, a former HIKI No student from Kamehameha School's Kapalama and a communications poli-sci double major at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Having spent my entire high school career at Kamehameha, my education was firmly rooted in Hawaiian values. But these values aren't only for Native Hawaiians. They are universal truths that apply to everyone. They are often reflected in HIKI No stories, so much so that we dedicated the first 6 shows of this season to 6 different Hawaiian values. Ho'omo, to persevere, perpetuate, and continue. Kuleana, or responsibility. Haahaa, humbleness and humility. Imina, which means enlightenment and wisdom. Ikepono, to know what is right. And Malama, to care for, protect, and maintain. In this special edition of HIKI No, we'd like to revisit all 6 of these values and the HIKI No stories that reflect them. Our first Hawaiian value is ho'omo, and is represented by an extraordinary story from students at Maui High School about a former UH Wahine Volleyball star who learns how to persevere against the toughest opponent she has ever faced.
Life in general is kind of hard to deal with, I think, for everybody. And the fact that you can fall down and keep getting up is really important.
Cecilia Fernandez, 1997 Western Athletic Conference Player of the Year from the University of Hawaii, knows how to get back up.
That was nice. We knew that it was going to be cancer, and well, maybe I didn't. My husband did. He's like, I know what it is already. I guess having that in the back of your mind makes it more frustrating that, they can't figure it out.
In 2013, the mother of 5 found out she had a rare form of cancer known as Adenocarcinoma in situ, or AIS.
It's not your typical lung cancer. It's not like your typical any kind of cancer, I guess. It's kind of like when you see it in the scan, it's like kind of wispy looking, I guess. And so the only frustrating thing is that maybe if they would find a better way to, do this diagnosis, people would get diagnosed earlier and then maybe have a better chance.
Leave this pencil in there.
By the time she was diagnosed, Fernandez was on the 4th stage of AIS. With cancer beginning to spread to other organs, she found herself running into overtime.
I didn't really feel sad or scared, so to speak. I just kind of felt like, okay, what do we do next? What's our game plan?
5 seconds, 1. She's number 3.
And you really have to persevere in order to be successful.
1993 National Collegiate Women Volleyball.
Sometimes you're not successful and, you still don't win, but you're going to come back the next year and try again. I'm a little fearful right now, and it's not that I'm afraid of dying. It's that I'm afraid because I feel like we don't really have a game plan at the moment.
Fernandez is more than capable of fighting cancer herself, but the team at home makes it clear she doesn't have to.
My oldest daughter makes me low-carb desserts because she knows I'm a dessert fanatic. So, my husband, he makes the smoothie for me every morning, all vegetables and fruits. He makes sure that I drink it. He makes sure that I work out every morning.
With this home advantage, Fernandez responded so well to her chemotherapy that the doctors decided to lighten her treatment. Unfortunately, she experienced an abrupt downturn in health following the change. Now back on full medication, Fernandez is struggling to regain the progress she made.
We're kind of in the gray area right now. We're hoping that it's gonna help again, but we gotta wait till the next scan. Thinking about my family falling apart makes me stronger. It helps me to persevere and do the things that I believe are helping me to win the battle, I guess, against cancer. Thank you.
This is Gail Tolentino from Maui High School for HIKI No.
Our next Hawaiian value is Kuleana, which means responsibility. The essence of Kuleana is captured in the following story by students at Waianae High School in West Oahu. It's about a young UFC fighter who takes his responsibility to family and community very seriously.
As we get older, we gain more and more responsibility, or Kuleana. Max Holloway is no exception.
You know, but now I have a family, I have a son, I have a wife, and it's super like just yes. Yeah, baby. Me and my wife got married a month after he got born. I gotta buy cars, you know, I gotta buy car insurance for the cars, you know. We rent out a place, so we gotta pay rent.
The responsibility Max feels towards his wife and son stems from the neglect he faced as a child.
My mom was a crazy ice user, you know. Thank God she's clean now, but she was. My dad just kind of left, you know, and I didn't ever want to be like that, and that was a fire under me for a long time. So I just wanted to show him, you know, what a family, in my eyes, is supposed to be.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, nice meeting you. No, thank you, man. Yeah. Thank you.
Not only is he responsible for a household, but also a reputation.
Everybody is like, you're from Waianae, you're gonna be a loser. Heavy drug users, nothing but punks, people who want to fight all the time, people who don't have education, people who's not smart, people who's gonna only end up doing low-income jobs, you know? You cannot feed into the negativity.
Max fights this negativity through pursuing his profession in the Ultimate Fighting Championship, otherwise known as the UFC.
I signed my contract when I was 19 years old. August 23rd in Canada, I'll be fighting the main event. It's my first main event with the UFC, 5 minutes round against a dangerous opponent named Charles Oliveira. You know, he's on a 4-win streak with 3 stoppage, and I'm on a 6-win streak with 5 stoppage. So it's getting tough to be whoever wins this one probably gets the next title shot. All I can do is train hard and go out there and fight night, just hope everything goes my way and come out the victor.
But the most important win to him hits closer to home.
I don't spend time with them, you know, and that's for like 6 weeks at a time, you know.
Down. Sit. Go. Run fast.
So when my hand get raised and, you know, when I see my paycheck and when I finally get to get home and just relax, you know, it's the greatest feeling in the world.
His responsibility towards his family and community gives Max Holloway the motivation to become a better fighter and father. This is Diamond Tuisano from Waianae High School for HIKI No.
The Hawaiian value of Haahaa is one that relies more on inner rather than physical strength. Haahaa means humbleness and humility. When you experience a humbling setback, you often have to learn an entirely different way of doing things. In the following story from Chief's Kamakahele Middle School in Kauai, a tragic event forces an artist to embrace a unique way of painting.
Just starting like the first little lines, there's gonna be a wave right here with the mountains.
Here at Chingon Village Shopping Center in Honolulu, Kauai, Moses Hamilton is a well-known person. Going by the nickname Mo, you can usually find him chatting with shoppers or painting art for everyone to enjoy.
I paint here in Honolulu like 3-4 days a week. And then I also paint a lot at my home. I get a very good reaction to my art. I think it's a very fun and active style. It's very alive, full of color, and a lot of island feel.
He's always been good at art, and yeah, but it didn't become the way he made his life until after he was injured.
Life took a dramatic turn for Moses and his family when he got into a car accident on a late October night.
I was driving home on a wet night after work and lost control of my vehicle, and then I woke up 2 or 3 days later and I'd been paralyzed, and I was told by the doctors I probably wouldn't move much of my body below my chest anymore. Life was pretty dark, and I did at times wonder if I still wanted to be alive.
It was a real life-changing thing for my whole family and for me. It taught me that all things are possible if we just really try. Maybe you won't walk. A lot of ways in Mo's art, he walks. He doesn't have a paralyzed mind. He isn't paralyzed.
The sunset, I gotta look at some photos.
This car accident left him in a rehabilitation hospital for 3 months. During his stay there, he was introduced to mouth painting.
Rehab of the Pacific, which is in Honolulu, and there was an art program, Louis Vuitton art program. There was all sorts of people with disabilities painting. The teacher talked me into trying a painting. A year and a half after being home from the rehab hospital, I was starting to feel healthier and ready to move on with my new life, and I started with some simple little paintings.
Thank you, Nora. Thank you.
Moses had to overcome many obstacles to get where he is today.
Being disabled is a very rough road, and it takes a lot of philosophy and a lot of power of will to overcome your day-to-day experience of being stuck in a wheelchair, not being able to move your body, and being dependent on others. Live life with perseverance. You gotta have patience for the things you want, and you gotta practice at the goals and the things you want to achieve. And you also gotta pursue it all with passion.
Since his accident, Moses had to be dependent on others for help. This taught him many life lessons, including gratitude and humbleness.
My car wreck was a very humbling experience. I was kind of an egotistical and brash. I felt like I was unstoppable at times, being a very strong young man. The reality is I felt frail and fragile, not only our bodies are, but how quick and fleeting life is. It can change in a second. Live with an attitude of gratitude, be gracious, and love the things you have in life. Don't get caught up on what you don't have. Within our society, everyone wants so many new things. They forget to just focus on the day-to-day happiness of being here. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You could be in a car wreck and life could be gone. So smile in the moment, because tomorrow is not insured.
Conquering life's struggles, Moses' art has revealed the miracle of life to him. As his motto states, art soothes the soul. This is Alasia Navor from Chiefest Kamakahela Middle School for HIKI No.
We all seek enlightenment and wisdom, and our next Hawaiian value, Imina, embodies that pursuit. The following story by students at Maui High School on Oahu is about a teacher who feels that a great deal of Imina can be found in the act of preparing a meal.
But I'm looking for 2 exceptional sources.
In teaching, I have a master's in education with a focus on secondary English, and I have a culinary arts degree. I have a business degree as well, and 3 degrees.
With all his degrees in culinary, business, and teaching, combined with his life skills, Lars Mitsuda was the perfect candidate for a new job opening here at Waianae High School.
I was offered the position to do culinary and cooking, and once given that opportunity, I couldn't say no.
Even though he teaches culinary, his focus is having his students understand that cooking is just a small ingredient in the big pot of life, taking what's learned in the kitchen and applying it to their own lives.
We can actually get up and do hands-on stuff other than just taking notes or taking tests. It's more like you actually learn things about the real world and what you would need to do in the future.
I don't know how to cook, so I'm about to graduate and need to learn how to cook before I starve in college.
The culinary arts basically covers everything. It's not just cooking, it's a way of managing yourself, time management. It's a way of looking at something and problem solving. What we would like to do is start up a mock cafe where the students are actually making something, having a live audience, and it helps them to manage other people, manage themselves, and just to give them that real life experience of what it's like to, 1, run a business, and to 2, cook in a real kitchen.
Hoping to spice up students' lives by introducing the world of cooking to them, Mr. Mitsuda finally knows where he's meant to be.
So I think that, especially for Mr. Mitsuda, but I think for all teachers, if you put us in our element, that's when we thrive. So since Mr. Mitsuda is teaching culinary now, I think everybody, the students as well as the staff, is going to see him really grow as a teacher.
I feel joy, I feel excitement. I love teaching. I love being with kids, and especially when you get to teach your passion and you get to teach kids life skills as well. I mean, it's the best combination ever.
I'm Ronald Sherrill from Waianae High School for HIKI No.
Our next Hawaiian value is ike pono, which means to know what is right. Sometimes the realization of what is right comes after years of doing what is wrong. Such was the case with a young health food entrepreneur on Maui. Here's his story from students at Maui Wahine Intermediate School on the Valley Isle.
Christopher Malik Cousins is a local entrepreneur who owns 3 successful businesses on Maui.
His most recent being Pharmacy Health Bar in Wailuku, which specializes in organic, alkaline, locally sourced vegetarian dishes. But if you had met him as a teen, this is not where you would have predicted he'd be.
I was a troubled youth. I was fight all the time, drink all the time, drive without a license, don't go to court. 39 arrests on the county of Maui.
It got so bad that he was even living on the street.
Didn't have money for regular food all the time. So I would eat at St. Teresa's Church in Kihei for about 9 months, kind people, and so I think that had something to do with the way I am now.
He opened local boys shave ice in Kihei and eventually another shop in Lahaina, but he still wasn't satisfied with himself. Malik realized he had to go back to his roots to really make a difference.
My mother, her name's Tutu Shama, and she lives on the Big Island, and she's been a vegetarian and for as long as I can remember. She raised me eating tofu and nutritional yeast. Then I went away from it as I moved away from home because I was a rebellious kid who wanted to eat whatever I wanted and whatever I thought was good.
But after having his own children, he realized that his mother was right and he needed to start selling foods that nourished the body and not just his pocketbook.
And I also wanted to do healthy food so that my children would have healthy snacks as opposed to eating ice cream every day. Also, I think I was, a boy seeking his mother's approval because even though I had 2 shops, she would tell me, but son, you're still serving that food to people. Why?
And the food she was referring to was the sweet treats he sold at his 2 local boys' locations. So Malik decided to make his mother proud and make a change to his menu. That is how the Pharmacy Health Bar was born.
You go to the pharmacy to get well or to get better, so you would come here to get well or to get better only through eating as opposed to medicine.
Malik's mission extends beyond just having healthy food on the table. He also tries to give people
a chance to work that might have a hard time getting a job other places.
His efforts to help the community go beyond his hiring practices. After he opened, he set up a paid-forward board where customers can donate an extra $3 when paying for the meal and sponsor someone else's, which benefits everyone involved.
And this gives an opportunity for people to help others easily. Now I'm giving food away, and I feel good about that because I've gone to somebody that was not doing Maui any good to someone who's making it better. And I have almost that many employees as I did arrests.
And that is quite a record to have. This is Christine Alonso from Maui High Intermediate School for HIKI No.
This takes us to our final Hawaiian value, Malama, which means to care for, protect, and maintain. The value of Malama can be applied on many different levels. It can occur between 2 individuals, or it can be practiced by a large, multifaceted, nationwide government agency. The latter form of Malama takes place in the following story by Aliu Manu Middle School students on Oahu.
Under the Marine Mammal Protection Act and the Endangered Species Act, NOAA Fisheries plays a key role in the protection and stewardship of marine mammals. A top priority of NOAA is the protection of the Hawaiian monk seal, one of the most endangered mammals in the world. The latest records show that only about 1,200 exist in the world today. Unless everyone does their part, the monk seal will not be around for future generations.
It would be a shame if the Hawaiian monk seal went extinct on our watch. Future generations wouldn't be able to witness them in the wild and enjoy their beauty and their presence. Just this morning I assisted with transferring 2 Hawaiian monk seals that were brought to our facility here on Fort Island last night on an airplane from Midway up in the Northwest Islands to transfer them to the Coast Guard station here at Barbers Point so they could be flown to a hospital over in Kona. And the goal is to, within about 2 to 3 months, put about 150 to 200 pounds on them and then send them back up to the Northwest Islands.
Assisting the Protected Resources Division is the Office of Law Enforcement. They are the ones out in the field making sure that the rules are followed.
So when people intervene with the local marine wildlife, it's normally tourists and people who are trying to get close and take pictures. which is most times not a problem, but we have to remember that they're wild animals. And just like you wouldn't want a wild animal coming into your house, we got to remember that we're going into their house, which is the ocean or the beach, and we need to remember to stay away and give them their space.
There's a lot of ground to cover, and the responsibility of protecting marine life doesn't rest on the scientists and officers alone.
We have volunteers who are out every day looking at these seals, setting up seal protection zones or little outreach barrier areas that have signs that alert the public to the fact that there's a resting monk seal.
Volunteers are trained by NOAA on what to do when they get the call to monitor a monk seal.
We need to know what to do when we see a seal, because prior to this program, I would not have known. I would not have known that you need to stay a certain distance away from the seal. I would not have known that seals come on shore to rest during the day. You know, I wouldn't have known any of that.
Members of the community can show their care by contributing in different ways.
The best thing you can do is volunteer in different programs, whether it be part of the Marine Mammal Response Program, where you're on the beach every day helping to protect the monk seals, or getting involved with invasive species removal, or any of the other programs that we offer here at NOAA.
Through these efforts, there is still hope that the Hawaiian monk seal will thrive once again. From Aiumara Middle School, this is Malin M. Mendoza for HIKI Now.
Another aspect of Malama is illustrated in this instructional from Maui High School on how to take care in the event of a hurricane.
In this year alone, Hawaii has already been able to luckily avoid 9 different hurricanes. However, regardless of this luck, it is always important to understand the 5 P's towards hurricane protection to ensure your safety in the event of an actual storm. The first step towards your protection is to pay close attention to your local news, to be informed on the track and state of the storm. The second step is to ensure to pack your supplies. Store at least 3 days worth of food and water for each member of your household. In addition, make sure to store all necessary medications, flashlights, first aid supplies, and a battery-operated radio. The third step is to pick your most important possessions, which may include important documents and special keepsakes. The fourth step is then to prepare your house before the chaotic winds. You may close up all windows and doors with plywood. The final step is to know your plan of action during a hurricane. Through these steps, you will develop better habits to protect yourself against future storms. Remember, you are not only limited to these forms of preparation, because there's always room to do more. Keeping the community safe, one step at a time. This is Casey Imoto from Maui High School for HIKI No.
I hope you've enjoyed watching these Hawaiian values-inspired HIKI No stories as much as I've enjoyed presenting them to you. They are a testament to the depth of meaning that can be found in stories created by Hawaii's young people. They also show that HIKI No can be used for more than just informing or entertaining. It can also be used to explore the values that hold us together as a society. Be sure to tune in next week for more proof that Hawaii's young people, HIKI No, can do.
Broadcasts of HIKI No are made possible by the support of viewers like you. Mahalo. And by Bank of Hawaii Foundation, investing in Hawaii's future by promoting collaboration, critical thinking, and other 21st century skills through HIKI No.